So YouTube should be going.
Let me check it real quick to make sure it's good to go.
It's showing up here, so that's good news.
Showing up that it's live, just have to click into it. I think if this thing will quit.
And Facebook is live too. Hello Facebook, hello YouTube. Let's whoop. Hey.
Good deal.
Okay,
I'll leave it open just in case somebody jumps on and says something or whatever. That way we can talk.
That's not normal. Okay, so we're gonna try to find the balance is the key to life on that one. Stay phone. Hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Hopefully we have everything we need, and of course there go our stupid mutts barking at nothing. I hate them dogs.
Yeah. Hold on. Should I go deal with them?
Yes.
Just don't go deal with these dogs.
Just don't go too crazy.
They shall be back.
Cooper's coming back.
That's the story of my life.
Dogs. These dogs.
Oh, Lord, okay.
Fun times.
Now, knock it off. Stop. Lay down and be good. You know better than that.
Fun times. Oh. Of course. Come on. There he goes. That's not going to angle right for him. Trying to get make sure it angles. Shasta, get out. Shasta, get out. Shasta. She's in the office and you're beeping her. She ain't going. You know what she's doing? She's coming to hide underneath me because I'm the biggest thing in the house. And I'm not going to be afraid to admit that on live. So yes, I'm the biggest thing in the house.
There's the reason why they call you Big Man.
Yeah, and that's why the freaking little dog hides underneath me. So anyways.
What's up, everybody? Sorry.
Cooper's
We're
back.
gonna get this going. Just had to get some doggies to chill out. What happens when you have like a pack of 4 of them? They, if one dog goes off, they all go off.
Mm-hmm. 4-pack. 4-pack of animals. Total is a 6-pack because you count 2 cats.
Alright, I think we're ready to go, bro. I've got everything set up now.
Alrighty, well, let's get to it. We have wrestling talk today, so let's get going. Alright, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Sports.
And we were going to do it at a park, but, with the weather being what it is, we had to actually do it at home, but it was still a good time.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
see here. Oh no, we got
And today is my daughter's birthday.
yes, happy birthday.
Happy
Gay
birthday, Bug. We
Think
love
we're good
you.
on here. For some odd reason, we had a technical difficulty on YouTube, so I wanted to check it real quick. Looks like we're back to going good on there. Okay, we had a temporary lapse in video streaming on that. Here we go. So, it is, of course, Wrestling Talk. As we discussed last week, we will be doing our lives, one episode each week. We're starting off with Wrestling Talk this week, and we'll discuss what happens next week. And we're going to be off next week, and we'll talk about that on a later episode. But for now, we are going to do with Wrestling Talk. So, first up, we had 2 pay-per-views this weekend. And a lot of action going on in both, as AEW and WWE had their pay-per-views. AEW had their main pay-per-view, as we all know, is All Out, while WWE had Clash at the Castle. AEW's All Out was in CM Punk's hometown, Chicago, Illinois, and WWE's Clash at the Castle was in Drew McIntyre's backyard in Cardiff, Wales, giving both title contenders a home court advantage, so to speak. So join us as we discuss the highlights of both pay-per-views.
Yes, I can't wait. This is going to be fun, man.
Yes, sir. So, basically, I just broke down the title matches, the most important matches, basically, of each one. I did discuss a little bit of a surprise that happens at Clash of the Castle in one of the non-title matches. But we'll just start with AEW, move over to WWE, and we'll also wrap up any other notes, like someone's appearance on Monday Night Raw last night. Alright, so in his first match in 500 days, Kip Sabian was ready to remind everyone who he was as he took on the Bastard Pac for the All-Atlantic Championship. I don't know why. I just went totally football on that one. All-Atlantic Conference. My bad. Anyways, the All-Atlantic Championship. Both high flyers put on a show for a capacity crowd in Chicago. However, it would be Pac who would come out victorious and remain All-Atlantic title holder.
Well, I mean, Pac is the more seasoned vet.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a bastard.
Yeah.
He's mean. So, favor to the champion, I guess.
Yeah, usually in these kind of matches, you're going to get the champion to basically retain. I mean, it is champion's advantage.
Yeah.
If there was a disqualification, Pac would have retained. So either way, he was kind of at the advantage. He needed to be pinned or submitted. So Kip, probably had a little bit of rust, not wrestling for 500 days. So, it takes a little bit of time to get back into the swing of things. So it's definitely going to be hard to get right back into a championship match, especially with someone like Pac.
There's this thing called ring rust, and that many days out, you're definitely gonna get it, dude. So
yeah,
Pac he's nobody to play with. So
crazy too, and crazy with his maneuvers.
There's a reason why they call him the Bastard.
That's right. All right, in the casino ladder match, of course I brought this up because this is a title contender match, so the winner of the casino ladder match has a future AEW championship title match. Where the match ends as soon as the big casino chip hanging above ring would be taken down, so basically like a Money in the Bank ladder match kind of thing. The winner, of course, gets a future title shot. The match started with Rey Fenix and Wheeler Yuta. They would be eventually joined by Rush and Andrade as they battled. Claudio Castagnoli would come out next and would check on Yuta before entering into the fray. Eventually, the chaos would explode as Stokely Hathaway and his stable came down and took out every competitor already out there and would grab the chip. Then the Joker came out to sympathy for the devil and was masked. Stokely handed him the chip, which deflated the crowd, especially when the Joker teased a reveal, only to leave the stage as the winner.
Yeah.
Interesting. The Joker.
Interesting stuff. The Joker, eh?
I like the song, and when we reveal who it was, I'm not gonna be happy about it. How that he just kind of tried to ruin the song for me, bastard. And he's not Pac.
He's not Pac, but he's a bastard, all right.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on from that, the finale of the Trios Championship Tournament was next as the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega took on Adam Page, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order. Of course, Adam Page is not part of the Dark Order. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, but they're buddies. They're chums.
Yeah. They're chummy.
They're chummy, man.
The first half of the match was not as high-flying and as chaotic as one might have hoped, as each team would keep tagging in and out, consistently keeping everyone relatively fresh. But once the fighting got more fluid, less tags were made, and everyone got what they really wanted, which was Omega and Paige squaring up. Paige, unfortunately, would hit Silver with a buckshot lariat, and that would allow Omega to pin him, while Matt Jackson would hold back Paige to set up the victory, thus deflating the crowd yet again with a disappointing ending.
Unfortunately, sometimes that's how it goes, dude. And you know, Kenny Omega is one of their bigger guys. They're gonna push him, and I don't like the route they've gone with him, making him the bad guy. I don't like the route they've gone with the Elite, making the Elite the bad guys. But you know what? They do good at it. They piss people off, so it works.
Absolutely, man. All right, in the TBS title match, Jade Cargill would put her win streak and title on the line against Athena. Athena hit her finisher within the first minute and was nearly TBS champ until the baddies would pull her out of the ring to prevent Athena from picking up the win. Athena had a few more close calls in dethroning Cargill, but Cargill overcame Athena's onslaught to remain champ and extend her winning streak to 37 straight wins.
Have you seen Athena?
Yes.
It's pretty big, dude.
I know Athena's pretty big.
So
that's actually to say something.
This is a pretty good matchup, dude, and for her to pull off the win on this solidifies her championship reign, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think so, because if for those of you who don't know, that's former WWE superstar Ember Moon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you already seen Ember Moon, you know that she is very well built for her size, and that I think helps legitimize Cargill's domination as TBS champion.
And being that, you know, I mean, Ember Moon being who she is, and and going through, you know, the training she did with Booker T and whatnot.
Yep.
It's nice to see her back in action and doing well, and I'd like to see her back in WWE, but I don't think we're gonna get that anytime soon. So.
Well, it will just depend, because you know there's been a lot of weird things going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on now.
And someone new is in charge who probably actually really liked her. So.
Like literally, I was really excited about AEW when it first started because it was something different.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more excited about what's going on with WWE right now.
I do see that. All right, next up in the regular AEW Tag Championship matchup, you have the Acclaim taking on Swerve in Our Glory, which is Swerve and Keith Lee. I did not know that until I read it. Sorry. At the time I wrote it. Sorry. In the match, Swerve in Our Glory would end up the heels of the battle with some of their tactics throughout the match. Keith Lee would offer a handshake to Max Caster before beating him down. Anthony Bowens appeared to get a knee injury, which Swerve in Our Glory would attack for the rest of the match. Billy Gunn tried to aid Bowens as legally as he could without getting the Acclaim disqueued, or disqualified, or DQ'd is what I meant to say.
DQ'd, yeah.
I don't know why I said disqueued.
Disqueued.
Swerve and Lee, though, would hit a combo powerbomb and a double stomp from the top rope to retain the titles and bathe in the booze from the Chicago crowd.
It is what it is, man. Come on now.
Yeah, basically that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, I really like Keith Lee. I think it's good to see him back in action somewhere at least.
Yeah.
But I think the way that WWE dropped him after his injury, that really kind of sucked. I mean, he is a big dude and he's a very good athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's one of them guys. He's scary in that ring, dude. The things he can do for being such a big dude.
Yeah.
It's like wow. And don't be surprised if we see him back somewhere else soon.
All right, absolutely.
So.
All right, the interim women's title match was a heated fatal four-way involving Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, and Toni Storm. Hayter and Baker would actually team up together to take on the other two competitors, and it eventually worked out to their favor as they seemed to eliminate Shida with an injury. They would turn their sights on Storm, and it seemed Hayter and Baker would be able to eliminate Storm as well, so they could just focus on each other, until a kendo stick-wielding Shida would return with the intention of inflicting as much pain as the two women who took her out. There were a few close calls, and Baker cost Hayter a pin, and that will end up having them to start having issues. which Storm would take advantage of by nailing a DDT and picking up the victory to become the new interim women's title holder.
Oh man. Yeah, dude, that's pretty cool for Toni Storm, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked Toni Storm. I thought she's great, and she didn't get enough of a push elsewhere.
Yeah.
So maybe this is opportunity for her. And Britt Baker,
Absolutely.
Pittsburgh native, Steeler Nation, baby.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, let's go.
Too bad she loves Adam.
Yeah, Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah. Anyways, the main event, of course, was a rematch of Jon Moxley taking on former champion, home crowd favorite, CM Punk. Punk would hit a GTS early in the match and even got a 2 count, but the match would continue on. After a few minutes, Moxley chants began to grow as loud as the CM Punk chants throughout the crowd. Punk would even get busted open and his white gear would become blood red stained. After a bunch of back and forth encounters and near falls, Punk would hit 2 GTS on Moxley to become the AEW World Champion once again. Following the match, the Joker would be revealed to be MJF, who was ready to come after Punk in the AEW Championship. So no, I don't have sympathy for that devil.
No, we don't. And, all this talk about, CM Punk's stance with the company.
Yeah.
What do y'all think now? Just like all this talk about MJF and his stance with the company. What about that now?
Well,
Maybe a little kayfabe going on? Or something there? Because it just doesn't seem right to me that all of a sudden now he's champion and now MJF is getting a push like this. It kind of seems haha.
yeah, especially since it was before MJF took off, it was a rivalry between him and Punk going on. So,
Yep, and then MJF saying fire me, blah 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 blah. He's a little pipe bomb himself. So,
right.
I think that Tony Khan's throwing in some kayfabe there and keeping things quiet with certain things, which I missed that about the wrestling business. Because when we were kids growing up watching wrestling, it was a lot different. Like watching the Monday Night Wars. When somebody jumped ship, you didn't have social media to tell you about it.
Yeah.
You were like, what? What is he doing here? Like, you had no idea. Use social media to its advantage a little bit.
Could be.
So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. All right, All Out also saw the end of Malachi Black as the House of Black lost a trios match against Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. It had been reported that Black requested his release and was granted, as reports that Black has been dealing with some personal issues and also disgruntled with his character and booking. Black was one of Triple H's guys in NXT and could very well be headed back to WWE with Triple H in creative control.
It just seems so fitting that as soon as Triple H, gains control of WWE, he asks for his release.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he's gonna get that push that he wants over there, where
he wanted it originally, but didn't get.
You know what I'm really interested to see?
What's that?
What happens when Cody Rhodes comes back? Because the beef between him and Triple H.
Yeah.
You know what would be cool is if they turned that into like a Stone Cold versus McMahon thing and did like Triple H versus, Cody Rhodes. But I know he can't wrestle. But it would be a good storyline to go with.
Yeah.
So
just basically, Triple H would just keep throwing every wrestler he can at Cody. In the meantime.
Well, I know it's been a while since we've seen Cody Rhodes, and there was a little tidbit about that at the castle. They did a little update, so it's supposed to be out for 9 months or something.
They said 6 to 9 months
6 to 9 months, yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see him come back soon, because I was very excited to see where it was going with him, because all the talks about bringing back the wing belt and doing all that, I was just like, yes. But yes, this is so cool to see Aleister Black maybe coming back home where he belongs.
Yeah.
And maybe not be on NXT, but beyond the main roster where he gets the bigger push and gets to do creatively what he wants to do with his character. Because from what I've heard, the locker room in WWE is a lot more loose. They're happier.
Yeah.
And their creative control is a little bit better. So.
Which is good news for somebody who came back on Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about after Clash of the Castle.
That's right.
So, Eric, as for WWE's Clash of the Castle, we have quite a bit to unpack. So let's get to it, sir.
Let's do it.
Our first title match would be Intercontinental Champion Gunther putting his title on the line against Sheamus. Sheamus was looking on getting the Intercontinental Championship to complete the final part of being a Grand Slam champion. This was a vintage slobber knocker, as these two were intent on inflicting as much pain as possible on each other. Despite having the back of the Cardiff.
They had it set up. It did. When I watched the pay-per-view, it didn't seem like that was the first match.
I said I did only titles.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. My bad.
We'd be talking
over here.
We would still be doing AEW right now if I didn't do only titles. We did only title matches, sir.
Oh, we're doing only title matches?
You want to keep talking about the AEW right now?
I guess that's true, yeah.
Exactly.
I guess it cuts things down a wee bit.
Yeah, we try to keep these shows as close to 30 minutes as possible. So, title matches it is. If it was just one pay-per-view...
Until we do football talk, this guy goes off about Oregon.
Oh, my bad. Anyways, but... if it was one pay-per-view, we could do a whole match card.
True, very true. So
we're doing two pay-per-views.
Sorry.
So
I was a little blindsided, but then I was like, wait, what?
So anyways.
Sorry.
So despite having the Cardiff crowd, backing of the Cardiff crowd, Gunther withstood the Celtic Cross to finish off Sheamus with a powerbomb and a vicious lariat to retain his championship.
Dude, this match was crazy. These guys beat the hell out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
All over the arena, and I've never seen anybody take it to Gunther like Sheamus did, dude. I've got so much more respect for him after that, because they made Gunther out to be like this unstoppable, like, beast.
Yeah.
And Sheamus took him on mano-a-mano, man. It was pretty cool.
They do that with Sheamus, though. Every time they build somebody up, they always bring in Sheamus to knock him back down a peg. Not knock him completely off.
Yeah, just
to kind of bring him back down to
earth a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, sure, they'll give Sheamus a win, but then there'll be a nice rivalry for a little bit. And it builds back up the character. But usually, when somebody is really high up there, it's like, okay, we need Sheamus to kind of knock him down just a wee bit.
I really want to say, I hope this is not over between these two, because this match,
yeah,
it was, I would say, dare to say, the second best match of the night.
Interesting.
So,
all right, next up, Liv Morgan putting her SmackDown Women's title on the line against the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler. Baszler would trap Morgan into a Kirifuda clutch right out the gates, but Morgan managed to roll through into a pin attempt, which would cause Baszler to break the hold to avoid being pinned. Morgan, though, was on the defensive for most of the match, trying to protect her injured arm. Baszler kept attempting the Kirifuda clutch as often as she could, but Morgan would manage to avoid tapping each time. Morgan would shock Baszler with the double knees and finish her off with an Oblivion to survive once again. And Cooper's not going to be happy about it.
I'm sorry, I like Liv Morgan. Okay, I've always liked Liv Morgan. I thought she deserved a better push. I thought she was talented, and I do think she's talented, but I don't think she's completely there yet to go against somebody like Ronda Rousey or Shayna Baszler. She's not in their league.
No.
And it's, to me, you're starting her off with her experience as a wrestler. She's good, but she's not Ronda, she's not Shayna. And I don't care what they said, what she said about a knockoff Ronda Rousey. She is not a knockoff. She's a badass in her own right.
Yeah.
And to me, it's not a good way to start off a title reign. You want people to respect her as your champion, right?
Yeah.
face her against somebody that's a little bit, I don't know, the same size, maybe, I don't know.
The only problem is most of SmackDown's women are the big behemoths.
Yeah.
You got Ronda, you got freaking Nat, you got Shayna, you got Charlotte, who is, I'm sure, due back anytime now.
Natalia, that would have been a good rivalry because Natalia, she could teach her things annoying, and she could, you know what I mean? I mean, for me,
Yeah.
put the veteran against the rookie, let him duke it out, let him figure it out, because she's gonna teach her things and she's gonna show her, and that to me, that would have been the where to start with. You know what I mean? Because not only that, she's a veteran. It'd be a good way to solidify her title reign.
Yeah.
And have the rivalry go for maybe a month, 2 months, something like that, so that there's a bit of a storyline there. But once she's done with Natalia, then you go after somebody bigger. I just don't see going after Ronda Rousey right off the bat. And then the way SummerSlam went down was crappy. And even though she got the clean victory in this one, to me it didn't seem as if it was. It just seems lackluster to me. No offense to Liv Morgan, because I really do like her. I just don't think they're bringing her up the right way.
You're not liking the whole David versus Goliath.
Versus Goliath versus yeah.
Kind of
It's
route they're going.
Yeah. So.
But at the same time, though, too, you got to think about this. This is how I kind of think about it too. Then, if you're not going to do it for Liv, then why did you do it for Ray with the World Heavyweight title? Because almost everybody was bigger than Ray.
Yeah, but Ray was seasoned, dude. Ray was seasoned. And not only that, Ray was not a small dude. He was buff. I mean, he could take some beatings, but he's quick, dude. And she's good, but she needs more season to her. She needs to.
Well, I'm just saying, you had the ultimate underdog, the ultimate David versus Goliath.
To me, if you're gonna do ultimate underdog, you want somebody smaller to take down the Giants. Get somebody like freaking. Heck, I'll even take Nikki ASH, dude, because. Except for make her go back to Nikki Cross, please, because she was crazy, small and crazy. I like it.
I did see an article by Sportskeeda that said that they are considering sending her back as Cross. So,
which is awesome because that's what she needs.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, it's like to me, it's a little lackluster the way they've been pushing Liv, and this whole thing with her and Ronda is not settled yet by far.
No, it's not.
But. I think that...
And hell hath no fury like a Ronda scorn.
Oh, man, I don't want to piss that woman off. Hell no.
Well, it's probably a good thing she married another fellow UFC fighter.
Yeah, because he can take the beating.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get off your soapbox on Liv.
Sorry.
Let's get over to the main event.
Let's go.
Undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns took on Drew McIntyre. Reigns would be without his advocate Paul Heyman and his cousins, undisputed WWE Tag Champs, the Usos, who stayed back stateside, and we all know why the Usos couldn't travel, because they've been in legal trouble lately. Anyways, Reigns would have also an unfavorable crowd against him in Cardiff. McIntyre was looking to dethrone Roman Reigns, while Reigns was looking to continue his championship reign in WWE. Both men were looking to catch the other sleeping to get the win. Karrion Kross would become a distraction at ringside for Drew McIntyre, who has been a thorn in the side of the Scottish Terminator of late. In the middle of the match, with McIntyre seemingly incapacitated, Reigns would grab a mic and to the Cardiff crowd, shout out to have them acknowledge him, only to be met with a Glasgow kiss to the cheers of the fans. Roman would regroup to nail 2 spears, but McIntyre. But each time, McIntyre would kick out. This would enrage, I spelled enrage wrong, Reigns, and would cause him to confront referee Charles Robinson. This led to McIntyre hitting a Claymore on Reigns, which also knocked out the ref. And of course, here came Mr. Money in the Bank holder, Austin Theory, to try and once again cash in. However, Theory would get clobbered by heavyweight boxer Tyson Fury, who was also ringside, and thus spoiling another cash-in attempt by Fury. Thank the Lord we still don't have Austin Theory as champion. It appeared McIntyre was now in control of the match, nailed Roman with a Claymore and seemed ready to end Roman's reign. However, Solo Sikoa came out of nowhere and pulled the referee out of the ring to prevent the 3 count. Roman would hit a spear on McIntyre from the distraction and retain his championship. Tyson Fury would shake hands with Roman Reigns and acknowledge him, but would also help up Drew McIntyre and let him know that he did his country proud.
What do I want to say about this? The bloodline just got stronger, and
You think?
it's kind of scary, dude.
Yeah.
Kind of scary because how many Inouye family are there?
There's a lot of the Inouye family. It just keeps coming out of the woodworks.
And it's the Usos brothers, so it's real bloodline, and we've seen what he did in NXT, so he's gonna bring some talent to the main roster, and as far as Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre go, I don't particularly think it's over, but for now maybe. Because of the things going on with Killian Cross, so
Yeah, Karrion Kross.
it is what it is. As far as Roman goes, I don't see anyone stopping him until LA, dude.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they've made him impenetrable. I don't like it, but it is what it is, and I don't really like the way they've made him rely on the bloodline, because Roman Reigns, we've seen him, he can do it by himself.
Yeah.
The man has the confidence to do it by himself. We've seen him do it as the good guy. You know, the dog that runs the yard. Come on now. But this new arrogance to him, this new way he's doing things, I still acknowledge him. I still think he's a better choice than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Do I think he's better than Drew McIntyre? I don't know. I don't know, because I really like Drew McIntyre too. So
I would like to see a point in the match. I'd like to see a match where it's a completely even ground, where there's no interference, absolutely none from the bloodline, and thus we would truly know who is better.
yeah, and no excuses, no Roman looking for some help from outside whatever's, just two dudes duking it out, and whoever wins.
Yeah.
That would be great, but for now we're not going to get that, and that truly irritates me, because it gives the Roman haters more, see, he needs help, he needs how many years did he go without help? And you know what, I'm sorry, but you want to be honest, he carried the Shield.
Yeah.
He carried the Shield.
I said that too. I was like, he was the Shield. If it wasn't for him, the Shield wasn't anything.
It's just like, but they had to have a bad guy, and everyone didn't like him as the good guy, and they all wanted to pick on him because the only reason why he's a wrestler is because of his family. Well, guess what? He's tried to prove he can beat anybody and anybody out there.
Yep.
But the only tarnished there and tainted reality of it is they make it look like he needs the bloodline.
Yep.
I don't think he needs.
Absolutely not.
So, hats off to the tribal chief.
Right. But how about the surprise of the night that came at Clash of the Castle? Earlier in the night, when Dominic helped his father Ray and Edge defeat Judgment Day, only to kick Edge below the belt and nail Ray with a clothesline.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Did you hear me while I was watching that? I was like, finally! It's like, finally! Because I've been wanting forever to see Dominic by himself, dude. To see the guy be able to be his own character.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand, your dad is who your dad is. And that's the only way they were gonna do this. They had to make some type of rivalry about it or something. That,
Mhm.
you know, it was gonna go down that way. So
Absolutely. It was months in the making too, because we've been hearing about this split for. We've been hearing this before. We've been hearing about the split before WrestleMania. We were hearing about it almost around the Royal Rumble earlier this year.
yeah,
That the split was supposed to happen, and it kept getting knocked back, knocked back, knocked back, and finally somebody who has cojones
let's go on that.
and creative said, you know what? It's time. Let's go ahead and do this.
You know,
It's time for Dominic to either sink or swim.
Yeah, I like the way you know, they made it look like Ray was upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Dominic knocked his block off with that clothesline, dude. And you know, Edge got up and Ray kind of got down on his knees like, "I'm sorry, man," and they hugged it out. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it is what it is with it.
And
So, and I'm just glad to see it finally happening because, you know, Dominic needs to be on his own. I don't necessarily think that his reasons were even for Judgment Day, and I think that was proof of that.
yeah,
So,
the frustration finally boiled over,
yeah,
and it's finally over.
and we're gonna see what happens. He's gonna sink or swim now without his dad.
I would have really liked to have seen it though happen prior to WrestleMania and given them both a WrestleMania moment where they faced off against each other.
Yeah, because we don't really have any big pay-per-views coming up anytime soon,
Not until the Rumble.
or the Survivor Series, but
No one really counts the Survivor Series.
no one
anymore.
counts it anymore because it's not like it used to be.
It's
So, it's pretty lame nowadays.
it's gone so far, and
Yeah.
no one. Everybody switches sides every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And now, technically, after the roster dissolved the way it did, they had to basically everybody just showed up on the show
Yeah.
because they needed you. So there's no real split. Survivor Series might be looked at being replaced at some point. But anyway, so the dogs are getting ready to bark. So we got to do one more little tidbit though. The Monster Among Men is back in the WWE.
Braun Strowman.
Yes.
Oh man, I cannot believe this. It's freaking awesome. To see him gone from action the way he was, and to see the things he was doing while he was away, that just shows that there's life outside of WWE.
Yeah.
So
And I definitely think too that AEW made a major mistake not being able to sign him. I don't know if it's just because he didn't want to or what, but he didn't. There's just some surprise that he didn't end up in AEW to me, because it's like that would have been, to me, not quite the nail in the coffin, because there is, to me, even though we all know I'm not as big a fan as you and a lot of his fans are, the final nail in the coffin to me, until they got Cody Rhodes back, that kind of saved it, would have been Bray Wyatt coming to AEW, which now we keep hearing rumors that Wyatt should be returning to AEW in the very near future. I mean, yeah, WWE in the very near future, not signing with AEW. So those two probably would have been the death call for a WWE in terms of keeping the roster afloat without a whole lot of much of anything
I mean that's what I'm saying.
other than Roman.
For me too, that's why I have a hard time believing that AEW is even on their level.
Yeah.
And trust me, I was clamoring for him. I was listening to the podcast a year ago. I was so excited about this, man, and it's crappy to see that it's kind of gone the way it has, and you know, you can.
I mean, it's gotten so bad.
You can only run it like an indie show for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to do something more. You've got to bring these guys in. If you want to bring old WWE guys in, you got to bring them in and make them top guys.
Yeah.
You can't just, I'm going to bring CM Punk and make CM Punk the top guy and call it good.
Right.
You had Aleister Black, who as Malachi Black was was pretty badass.
Yeah.
I liked the storyline with him. I liked the way they were going with it. But then they slowed down and they tapered off.
Yep.
They should have kept running with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when Braun Strowman was a free agent, they should have done everything in their power to get that man on the roster.
Yeah.
Just like they should have with Bray Wyatt. So,
I hate to say this, but I honestly think, because you don't really want to put this on this kind of thing happening to being what causes a problem, but I think AEW really took a hit when Brody Lee died.
yeah, very, very much so.
Because it seems like once Brody Lee died, everything, it seemed like AEW kind of panicked and didn't know what to do,
Yeah.
and started fumbling through everything, trying to make something seem legit, and it obviously irritated Rhodes so much that he's like, I gotta go.
I think that's the other thing too, is they should have done everything in their power to keep him, dude, and they should have made him their top guy.
Yeah.
Jericho was the top guy from the beginning. I get that.
Mhm.
You want prestige on the title,
Right.
but to keep it going and to keep that lineage alive
Mm-hmm.
with the title, they should put it on Cody, dude.
I mean, they hamstrung themselves when they all agreed that Cody didn't win that title off Jericho after that one match, and he was never going to be AEW champion. That just hamstrung the whole ordeal right there. It's just like, what's the point then?
Yeah.
If Cody is not going to ever be AEW champion, why? What is it? What are we doing?
Yeah.
That should have been your first clue. Is that was wrong.
And then to me, I liked the whole idea with the Rhodes having their own show
Right.
to kind of counteract with the Miz and Mrs.
Right.
I like that stuff. But when you don't push a guy on TV and you don't make him your top guy, or at least even your mid card, champion,
Right.
what is he there for? Like, I mean, honestly, and then the whole thing, I think with him and, the Elite kind of got screwed up when they brought Kenny Omega in, and they brought that one dude from Impact, the manager guy,
Yeah.
and it screwed everything up, dude. And I'm sorry, but you can buy Ring of Honor, you can buy Impact, but if you don't have like a full-on vision on where you're going and where, what you're going to do with these talents, it's going to implode.
Yeah. You can't just keep throwing stuff against the wall and hoping something sticks.
You gotta have somewhat of a plan with it.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like, their plan was totally set in stone. It was just like, oh, we're getting these packed out places, we're doing this, and it's cool for a while.
Yeah.
But if you don't keep coming with something different for people to,
Right.
I mean, we can even say the same for WWE. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. We've seen it.
How many times have we seen on social media, like the crowd only being in one spot, or even when we were let's just be honest, when we were at SummerSlam,
Yeah.
there was one
Almost half the
one
stadium.
section of the stadium that was pretty much cut off.
Yeah. No fans in it. It wasn't
So
a full capacity stadium.
yeah,
Which baffled me because it's like it's SummerSlam.
and it baffled me to see how many people they said were actually there. When I'm like, it didn't even feel like there was that many people there.
Because I was just like, what are we doing here? This is a football stadium in SummerSlam, and like we've both said, you could argue is either the second or third biggest pay-per-view of the year,
Yeah.
depending on your preference. Like your preference is Royal Rumble, mine is SmackDown. I mean SummerSlam. What's your, and there's, I'm gonna have a lot of people agree with me. You're gonna have a lot of people agree with you. Some are just be like, I don't care, we just love wrestling. So we just love the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
All the pay-per-views. You got some who just think every pay-per-view is great, and some are just like, what are
To
we doing?
me, nowadays, the pay-per-views aren't what they used to be. And it's because of how easy they made access for it.
Yeah.
And now it just kind of sucks because I look at AEW and I'm like, dude, if you guys had a subscription thing, you know how many people watch your guys' pay-per-views too? You know how much, you know, you guys would get in revenue for that?
I think though that the hard thing for them is because they only really have about 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year
Yeah.
instead of a pay-per-view every single month.
Yeah.
The money for them is actually going to keep being charging fans $50 or $60, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, because it keeps their revenue up.
Because it keeps revenue up, because unlike WWE, you got a pay-per-view every single month. So it's easier to have a network or partner with a network that has a streaming service because you have a pay-per-view every month and not everybody can drop $60 a month, every month, for a pay-per-view to watch your best guys. Because also, you get to the point where some guys can't wrestle on TV all the time, and you will only be able to see them at that pay-per-view because, you know, it's just the way it is. At a certain point, Undertaker, we kept seeing it with Undertaker. He would show up for pay-per-views mostly. He would only show up for big pay-per-views mostly. He would then show up to the road to WrestleMania. He would show up only on like SmackDown or Monday night before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Or he might show up on WrestleMania. As his career broke down.
Same way with John Cena.
Same way John Cena. You're not going to really see it. He might show up because it's his anniversary of being on Raw. It's his anniversary on being SmackDown. It's his career anniversary. More likely, the only way you're going to see John Cena is on the pay-per-view. Because John Cena is very busy. When are you going to see The Rock? Mostly going to be on a pay-per-view. He might show up to Miami. He might show up to LA.
Yeah.
Depending on where he is and what his schedule is. He could possibly show up. Well, that's understandable. That's going to happen. So, but the problem, that's why AEW is not so in a hurry to go get a streaming service. Now, if they could partner, and the other problem is Turner might be dropping them soon. They've been having issues. So they're going to have to probably start looking for a partner, and they're going to probably have to partner with a streaming service. Maybe partner with Netflix. Maybe partner with Hulu and Disney. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you're going to have to figure out something.
Something, man. I heard rumors that WWE might partner with Netflix.
And it'll be interesting to see because I also heard the rumors that they might partner with Disney. So we never know what
We
Disney.
don't know, man. Which, either way, I think that.
As long as WWE gets over with Peacock, because that shit's crazy.
Oh my gosh, dude! I wish they would have never moved away from their own streaming service.
Well, they only did in the United States.
Let me get this
Can I move out of the country?
right.
We can have WWE Network
Right?
back.
Can we move out of the country just for that? But it's just, to be honest, it's like I want wrestling the way it used to be, dude. Like the whole bit between Riddle and Seth Rollins,
Yeah.
them cussing at each other and stuff. That's real stuff.
Even
dude.
if you have to bleep it out, okay.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's real
Why not?
emotions.
Why not? They're pushing everything else nowadays. So
I mean, it's like real, but it's real emotion that way. It makes it more raw. The only other problem is basically you're gonna have to figure a way to kill the social media content that leaks out. That's where it's gonna have to stop.
Yeah, they're gonna.
K-Fab is taking such a
It's gotta
hit.
go back. It's got to come back
Yeah.
a little bit because it makes things more interesting. And I understand, I get it. I like doing these podcasts. I like being able to leak some information every now and then. But to be honest, K-Fab is pretty much dead nowadays.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, you don't really see what goes on behind the scenes. You only see what's on TV, whatever. But you get stories, you get social media tidbits, you get all sorts of stuff.
Right.
And it's like, ugh.
It's not, and that's the problem because the wrestling is not technically real life, so you don't really want anything on social media. It's different when you get breaking news and trade rumors about real sports because that's real life.
Now, let's get honest here. Let's be honest. Like, real life situations where somebody gets engaged.
That's fine.
Let's go with Rusev or Miro, if you want to call him that now, and Lana.
Right.
Okay?
That's fine.
They shouldn't have been in trouble for what they did.
No,
That's personal life.
that's personal life. Yeah, they should not be able to. They shouldn't have to hide their personal life.
No.
that much.
But
They should be able to share.
as far as the storyline goes, or something to that effect,
Mm.
it doesn't need to be on social media.
Right.
It needs to be kept quiet. I think that's the problem with all of sports. If you want to get honest, media is too much involved in it. Like when somebody gets traded, or somebody gets moved, or somebody gets released, there's automatically a report there.
Yeah.
And sometimes the report is not completely correct.
Right.
And then you're getting tidbits of this information, this information, this information.
And then you got people who are going, wait a minute, why did I just hear from Adrian Wojnarowski, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, or Tim Kirchich that I'm either traded or released, and I'm not hearing it from my own team, my agent yet?
Yeah.
But I've just heard it being dropped on social media somewhere. That's got to be the worst feeling in the world. I would hate that feeling.
And I
Good thing I'm not the athlete I used to be.
And I think too, while you're under contract with like a team, or you're under contract with, say, a wrestling company, whatever, there are certain things that you should not be able to do on social media. And
Unless it's character based.
unless it's character based, yeah.
Yeah. So like Randy Orton and somebody having a Twitter bar, okay, because it's character based. You know, their feud spills out into Twitter, okay, or Instagram, whatever. You know, Seth Rollins and Riddle right now could be Twitter back and forth, Instagram back and forth, whatever. You know, that's nothing as long because it's character.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. But yeah. All right, dude, we got to end this thing because we just went way beyond. We both went on the soapbox on that
It's
one.
been fun, man. It's just, I love wrestling. You love wrestling. Maybe, you know, I'm glad that I could bring you into it. We really found something that we really click on too, besides football, because, you know, football's our thing too. But
Football's not year round.
it's not year round.
Well,
and I know
games aren't year round.
I know it's not the fakeness that wrestling is, but what I love about wrestling is it always tells a story, and you can be a character, you can be anybody in the world, and it's fun stuff, dude.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and it's not completely fake. Wrestling's not fake. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, you can still end up getting hurt, or in some unfortunate cases, die.
Yeah. So.
Or die early because you've had a lot of injuries. So,
And there's that.
yep. Or you roided. One of the two. Or both. Anyways. So that'll do it for us here at Sports Talk. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We'll probably be back tomorrow as long as everything goes okay with football talk. And of course Thursday we will be back with Sports Talk.
Yes, and we're also taking next week off because I'll be.
He's taking next week off. He's forcing it on me.
Yeah, I'll be out of town for the week. Got some
Forcing
family
it.
vacation stuff going on, so you know.
Goes off and gets married and just leaves Big Man home
So,
with the dogs. Oh.
well, at least I know they'll be alive maybe when I get back.
Anybody want a dog? I got 3 extras. I got a black and white one, 2 of them that kind of look like boxers. One kind of looks like a pitty. She's got a little pitty attitude.
She's cute though.
She's cute, but she's a turd,
She's a brat.
and she knows it. But anyway, so that's what we'll be happening next week. So the following week, when we come back, Football Talk will be our next live. Since you wanted to do it now instead of at the Sports Talk when I wanted to do it then. But whatever. We're just like going off script, just like any other
I'm
wrestler.
so happy to be back with this, man. Doing this.
Me too.
This is our passion. This is what we're about.
Yes, sir.
To be able to get on here and talk about sports and just kind of be a part of the community, it's nice, and can't wait to keep this growing. Thank you for all the views. Thank you for all the likes. Everyone that follows our podcast, we very much appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, man. So that'll do it for us here at Sports Talk, and as always, keep on talking sports. All right, stop that. Thank you all for tuning in, who tuned in on the live. We appreciate
Thank
you.
guys very much.
And there goes my phone doing weird things again. Stop moving. Just stop moving, Karen. Jeez. Ah! There it goes.
There it goes.
You know what, Facebook? Good night on that one.
Hi, Facebook. We love you.
Alright. Hello, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
You can stay on for just a moment while I do a little quick editing. Hi, Chihuahua. Anybody talk to us on there? Because you didn't even look at your phone.
Nope, nobody was on.
Aw, you were the only one on again?
Yeah, it's okay though.
Wow.
If you watch this later, enjoy it.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow. Can't believe you're gonna abandon me next week. For St. Augustine.
Are we done live or are you still?
It's still on.
Why?
Because I wasn't done editing. Can I edit? Do some editing, please? Thank you very much.
Very proud.
Fine.
Bye, guys.
Bye.